All right, I think we live, man. Shalom on Christ. This is ISUPK Monday night scripture breakdown class. I'm Captain Zion, and you get Shalom on Christ. This is ISUPK Monday night scripture breakdown class. No, sir. It's all good. We just gotta, and like I said, and no, this is not a mistake. You know what I mean? I am on, the ISUPK Delaware South channel tonight. You know what I'm saying? Rocking out with Thashiana. We got Angel in the building. So we're going to go ahead and get started after these brief messages. So you already know what to do, man. Just get everything that you need for class. Get your precept books together. Get everything you need so that you can enlighten yourself, all right? And we're going to answer some questions, and then we're going to get into the topic. With that being said, I'll see you all in 2 seconds. The floor if anybody got any questions. If not, we'll get right into the topic. I'm not going to hold everybody tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get right into it. We'll bust you over the head with these precepts, and then we're going to be up out of here, all right? So what we'll do is we'll start the first part of the class. If anybody has any questions, of course, if something I can't answer, I'll just refer it up or whatever to one of the generals. But, if you got a question, go ahead and, ask your question. The floor is anybody who wants to take it. All right, ready. So I had a couple of ones I was going to, I guess I'll just answer them tomorrow night, but I had one where a sister asked me about the scripture where it says, not to take a widow in the number, not be taken like a widow. So she was kind of saying, okay, well, are you trying to say that, old women can't get married? That's not what the scripture's talking about, of course. But I can go into that tomorrow. But also somebody asked me something about like a woman on her menstrual cycle and stuff like that. So, I can go into that too as well. All right. But for tonight, the name of the class tonight is, so you think you won't rank in leadership, all right? Because see, a lot of brothers, when they come into the truth, you might think that, because you see, a brother or you see a brother who's a captain or officer or whatever, and you think that, you want to obtain that. And that's totally fine. You can obtain anything that you see going on in this school. You want to be in a leadership role, then go ahead and do it. Get on the right path to get it, and you can definitely get it here. You know what I mean? You want to be a captain, you want to be an officer, you want to be a general, you want to be a trooper, whatever it is that you aspire to be in the truth. You can be all of those things. You know what I mean? Like the scriptures say, seek first the kingdom of heaven, and all the things will be added to you. So no matter what you want, the Lord will give it to you. You just got to do the right things and and be on the right track to move in the best possible position. All right. So we're going to go into is talking about rank. right? Now, y'all know about rank. Rank is in the Bible, right? A lot of people, they don't understand when they see the ISUPK because they're like, well, why? I don't want to listen to no man. That's the first thing that the brother will tell you why they won't come into school. Now, the reason, that's not the reason. The reason that a brother doesn't want to come into the school and doesn't want to get himself together is not because of rank, not because he don't want to listen to another man. You know what it is? It's because he's choosing getting high over his brothers and getting free. You know what I mean? He's choosing hoes over his brothers and getting free. The same thing with a woman. A woman is choosing to get high and smoke weed over getting with her sisters and getting free. And that's what the real deal is. This thing is not something that you could be on the fence about. You either stand with the Lord or you don't. A lot of people think that they got so much time in this truth. Well, I got all this time to get myself together. Well, how the hell you know? You don't know how long you got. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. Hell, you don't even know if you're going to be here tonight. Right. You could pass out right now. And we will have to carry you out of here. So you don't know how much time you got. So what you want to do is, I remember John Muhammad said it, we understand that the Lord, if you can live your life like the Lord, understanding that the Lord wants to kill you, and then you got to do something to make him keep you alive. If you can live like that, then you win the game. You win it, because that there shows you humility and you understanding that, like the scriptures say, our righteousness is as a filthy rag. So you might think that you live a good life and you nice to people and all those things, but it's a lot that we're not doing, and it's a lot of things that that we don't do that we should be doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into the scriptures. I'm gonna go ahead and the first scripture I'm gonna pull is Deuteronomy 1 and 5. All right, so I think it's important that we go there first so that y'all can see about rank and order and how it was. So if you know anything about the history of Moses. Moses, at the time, he was the leader of Israel. And everybody was coming to Moses asking all these questions. And it was just so much going on that he couldn't handle everything. So his I think it was his father-in-law was like, hey, you should appoint some people to, get into these positions. So then that way they can help you on the lower level, handle some of these issues that's going on in Israel. And then if it gets too much to where they can't handle it, then we'll bring the matters in front of you. And this is why Moses set up what he set up. So I'm going to read it. It said Deuteronomy 1 and 15. All right, Brother Angel, you got it.
Okay, Deuteronomy.
Okay, you got the mic. Okay, no sweat. Make sure you good. Which one is that?
I have no idea.
All right, you got it. Go ahead and say something.
Hello?
One more?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right, you that one. Okay, you got it.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we good. You got it, warrior.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50s, and captains over 10.
Right. So what this is just a level of responsibility that you have. When you're in the truth, you'll understand that when you come into the school, whether or not you're a trooper, when you're a trooper, you have a certain level of responsibility, right? Your responsibility is to, watch the brothers, watch what's going on, clean up, clean the toilets, carry the camp equipment, things like that. We all know that that's the way it go when you're going in anywhere. You're at the point where you're proving yourself. You show up, you got all black on, you got your boots on, you're showing everybody, hey, look, man, I'm serious about this, and I want to be acknowledged that I'm a serious brother. And we will, right? You got to go through the proving ground like every brother here, but while you're a trooper, it's also a good thing too, because you don't have to worry about getting in no battles. You don't have to worry about arguing with nobody. All you got to do is just sit back, read, and you good. You know what I'm saying? And it's a time where you can take the take everything in and soak everything up like a sponge, because if you so choose, the day will come where you'll be hopping out of the frying pan and into the fire. All right. But when it says the captains over thousands, captains over 50s, captains over 10s, that's just a different level of responsibility that the brothers had. Keep reading.
And officers among your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren,
mm-hmm.
and judge righteously between every man and his brother.
Right.
And the strangers that's with them.
Right. So you got to judge righteously, meaning that you can't have like favoritism. You know what I mean? If your brother's wrong and he got ranked, then he's wrong. It doesn't matter. Everybody has the ability to be wrong. You understand? So, and this is what you have brothers for. This is why you have judges that can judge matters righteously and not show favoritism. All right. So we're going to drop that. All right. So let me get 1 Corinthians 2:18. 1 Corinthians 2:18. Let me know if I'm going too fast. But I'm just going to run through it and knock it out. First Corinthians 12:18. That's what I wanted. All right, whenever you're ready, you got it, Angel.
Okay. 1 Corinthians 12, verse 18 says, but now has God set the members, every one of them, in the body. Right.
So right there. So, the Lord, remember, you're and think of it like this, right? You're a young man in the school right now, but you're a young man in the school because the Lord put you in here. Right. And if a brother's a trooper, you're a trooper because the Lord made you a trooper. If you are a captain or an officer or whatever you are, the Lord chose you to be that. Right. It says, but now that God has set the members, every one of them, in the body. Keep going.
As it has pleased them.
Right. That's the Lord. Now, you might think that another brother might have told you something or, gave you a test or whatever it was in your journey. But just know that the reason that brother did it is because the Lord wanted them to do it. The reason that anything that happens to you in the truth is because the Lord wanted it to happen, and he puts the people in place to make things happen. All right. So if you're a brother who's a captain in the school, you're a captain because the Lord wanted you to be a captain. Yeah. Another brother, he might be in the school and he might not be at the same rank as you, but he might know more scriptures than you. I don't know. He might be a little bit more witty and more fast at understanding, at getting the scriptures. But you got to understand, okay, what is his work ethic like? What type of a brother is he? Is he on time? Does he have the kind of traits that would be becoming of someone who should be in charge, right? And so all of these things are, the Lord understands these things and sees it, and the Lord chooses who he wants to be in position, all right? All right, no sweat. Keep going.
And if they were all one member, where were the body?
Mm-hmm.
But now are they many members, yet but one body.
Right. So meaning that everybody is in one body. Just look at us as a body. Israel is a body, but everybody is different members of the body. If you didn't have fingers, then your hands wouldn't work. Try working your hands without fingers. Try walking without a big toe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything has its purpose, and every brother, every sister that's in the school has a purpose.
That's right.
There's nobody that is less important. You know what I mean? Every brother that's in here is important, from the trooper up, right? Is important. The sisters, important. Everybody is important in this truth, even the young men. All right. All right, no sweat. You could drop that. All right. Let me get Psalm 75:6. Psalm 75:6. Psalm 75. All right, so we're talking about, you know, brothers and you know, because brothers that when they look and they see, they be like, oh man, I want to be a captain, or I want to be an officer of 5,000, or I want to be an officer of 1,000, whatever it is, whatever your ambitions are, you see it. But what I'm trying to help you to understand is that there is a lot that comes along with it. You know what I mean? You might see like a brother eat first, right? you see the perks that, you know, you see the perks that, like, you know, I might be able to eat first, or Tashina might be able to eat second or third. You see that, but you don't see the what's behind all of that. You know what I mean? People that's looking from the outside. You don't know. You mean you might see me at the Passover and you might be like, oh look, that's Cap, man, he's at the Passover, and oh man, it's just so good and nice to, oh man, it's so good you being the captain. But you don't know that I was in Passover council every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. You don't know that I'm in councils every other night. You know what I mean? Dealing with different stuff that's going on in the nation, different stuff that's going on in the school, different stuff that sisters are going through, brothers that's in their marriages, all kinds of stuff that I'm dealing with. Not only that, I still got my you know, the stuff that my normal duties that I have to do as just a brother that's in the truth, in the school, right? I still got to go to camp like everybody else, right? I still got to go to my slavery like everybody else. But you still got to make time for all of those things when you want to go up and you want to be in a position of leadership, right? But we're going to get into like promotion. Go ahead, Psalm 70, 75 and 6.
Psalm 75 and 6 says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. Say that one more time. God is the judge. Y'all see that? See that? The you know, promotion doesn't come from the east or the west or this person or that person. No, it don't come from nowhere. The reason that you get in your position is because the Lord wanted you in your position, right? The promotion comes from the Lord. And that's what we all have to understand. And if you can understand that, then you can really be in the best, a real good position to really be able to see what I'm putting down. All right. It says, but God is a judge. He put it down one and set up another. So there's brothers that fall weak in the truth. Yeah, you might get into the truth because you think that Christ is coming back in the year 2024. So a lot of brothers, they run in here and they be like, well, Lord willing, he do. But, you know, a lot of brothers, they fall like that because they think that, you know, it's going to be a quick thing. Like, you know, well, Christ is going to come back in 2024 because I've been watching some YouTube videos and it seems like everything is in the right. You know, at the, you know, everything is pretty much right and it'll happen, you know, and a lot of brothers made that mistake in 1999, right? They thought Christ was coming back in the year 2000. So everybody flooded the truth because they thought that it was over. But then what happened when Christ didn't return in the year 2000? Those same brothers left. And this is why it's important that you're not just here because, you know, I guess for, you know, something that's not sincere, right? Because, you know, you'll eventually, it's only, I know y'all heard this, if y'all from the streets, y'all know it's only so long, you know how they usually say it's only so long fake thugs can pretend. It's only so long you can pretend, and then eventually your true colors are going to show, and then you're going to be gone, right? And so you want to make sure that if you here for the right reasons. You here because you're down. You here because you're loyal to a default. That's what really it's all about. You find your rock in the truth, and that's what's going to keep you here so that you can give the truth. You can give your brothers and their sisters your years as they go by, right? But it says, but God is a judge. So he put it down one and set us up another. So there's going to be brothers that's going to fall in the truth, right? And when you fall, somebody will be in your spot. So you want to make sure that you don't fall. That was always my biggest thing when I came into the truth. You know what I mean? I didn't want to fall because I'm like, why would I want to fall? And then somebody else that came in after me, you know what I mean, passed me up because I don't want to be consistent. So I understood that consistency pays off. I understood that what you had? You had wanted something? Are you good? Yeah, it's right here. So I had wanted to make sure that no sweat. Got to get down.
I just wanted to make sure that my consistency was worth everything, because at the end of the day, man, your brothers, they count on you. Your sisters, they count on you. You might not think that somebody is looking at you because you might like, oh, I ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Why would anybody look at me? But people look at you, man. You know what I'm saying? I went to the Passover myself, and people were coming up to me like, oh, I watched your videos. And I'm like, well, damn, you know, why I don't see you checking in? But they don't. And sometimes people just watch from afar. And people are watching you and you don't even know. All right? No sweat. So we can go ahead and drop that. Now, you don't want to covet your brother, right? And y'all know what covetousness is, right? It's where you want something from you. You want what your brother got with a strong desire to get it, and you'll do anything to get it, right? A good example of that is, remember the three brothers that went and killed XXXTentacion, the rapper, right? They just got life in prison. Now, those brothers just got life at 20-something years old. 20-something years old. They got life in prison at 20-something years old. When you 40, you're not the same person that you was when you was 20-something. Right? When you 50, you're not the same person that you was when you was 30. Right? People change. Those young brothers, when they get to 40, they're going to be like, why, man, I did 20 years, you know, I'm not the same person no more. But it's not going to matter, because brothers, they covet what they want, they covet their brothers and sisters so much that we commit the crimes against each other, and we make horrible mistakes and we kill each other. And then we have to spend the rest of our life paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it is a certain thing that you can covet, right? So we're going to read that, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14 and 39. There is some things you can covet. We're going to find out what it is. 14 and 39. And whenever you got it, Brother Angel, you got it. Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 14 and 39 says, wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy.
There you go. See that? So if you a brother that's a young man in the school, that's what you should covet. Like you want the gift of prophecy. You want to be able to prophesy. You want to be able to go out and speak and go out to camp and teach brothers and sisters. And you want to say the things to them that's going to get them off of drugs, right? That's what you should covet. That's what you should want with an unburning desire. You know what I mean? I mean, not unburning. How would I say it? How would I say that? Not unburning desire. A burning desire. Right? That's what you want. With a burning desire, you want to covet that. The gift to go out there and prophesy, and the Lord will give it to you as well. You want to do it? You want to go out there and talk? Go ahead. I don't want to talk all camp either. Go ahead, get it on. Let me get some more brothers in here so we can go out and I can sit back. Right? I don't want to say everything. We don't, in this school, we don't teach brothers this, right? So that I can keep sitting here in this seat. You get my point? I'm telling you so I don't have to sit here all the time, so that you can sit here, right? That's what it's about in the truth. The older men pass it down to the younger men, and the younger men pass it down to the next group of men, and the next group of men pass it down to the next group of men. That's just the truth. That's how it goes. That's the way it's always been since 1969. All right? Boom. I think we got what we wanted up there, but let me get 1 Corinthians 12 and 31. Let's go to 12 and 31. A couple of chapters over. First Corinthians 12 and 31.
1 Corinthians 12 and 31 says, but covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet shew I unto you a more excellent way. Right.
It says, but covet earnestly the best gifts. Right. So like if you see a brother that is good with the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Thus him bring out a ton of scriptures. Right. You want to be able to do that. Covet that. You want to be a good speaker. Covet a brother who speaks good. You want to be a brother who's studious. They like to get in the books and then highlight some stuff that I could use. Then be that brother to do it. You want to be a brother that want to come in here and you want to have the gift of opening up schools and opening up food programs. We need a food program. We got some food programs, but yeah, we need more, right? You want to be that brother, you want to be that sister, you covet those things, right? Whatever it is that you want to do, you covet those things. You covet the best gifts that you see that brothers show, that sisters show, right? And that is the more excellent way to be. Rather than, and you know, in the world, we say this exact thing in the world. You know, we say, I ain't a hater, right? That's how we say it, man. I ain't a hater, man. I see you doing your thing. You shining over there. I want to do the same thing too. I want to get it like you got it. That's how it is. So, you know, because remember, the Bible is written by black people, blacks and Hispanics, right? Native Indians. And so, you know, this is how you want to do it. I think you want to say something? Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
It kind of reminds me of like this story of Solomon when he became the king, and God asked him what he wanted. Mm-hmm. And then it was he only wanted the wisdom, but he gave him more than that. Like,
yeah.
He ended up giving him more than that.
Man, Solomon was so rich, man. His cupbearers looked like they was rich. Remember when Sheba came, Queen of Sheba, she didn't know who was the king. Imagine that. Imagine the king is so rich and you working for the king, but your teeth is iced out. You got iced out diamonds in your teeth. You got rings on all your fingers, bracelets, and you got King Solomon's, you as cupbearer. And you look like, you know, you the king. You know what I'm saying? And because, you know, he wasn't selfish, because a lot of people, they pray to win the lottery. You know, like, Lord, just let me get these numbers. You know what I mean? The Lord ain't gonna give you the numbers. You know why? Because you got deep-seated issues that you have not dealt with. And the Lord understands that if he gives you $1 million, $200 million, you're gonna buy a rock this big. Because you got drug issues. You're gonna use that money in so much excess of things that you want, that you lusting after, that eventually you'll just kill yourself with it. So sometimes being broke is a blessing, because you see a lot of people that get money and they got, you know, drug issues, and they go right to the edge and they go right off. You hear about it all the time. You know what I mean? And so, you know, you might be rich and famous and all that, but they still die drug addicts, just like where I'm at in Wilmington. You know what I mean? And on the west side, you know what I mean? They get you rich and famous in America, you get the same death as the crackhead that's on the corner that OD'd on fentanyl. You know what I mean? It's no difference. All right. Boom. All right. Let's keep it moving. Unless anybody had any questions. All right. Boom. All right. Daniel 11:33. Daniel 11:33. I'm going against this damn. You know, the battery.
It's on the sweat.
Oh, okay. Okay. No sweat. I was racing against the battery. Ain't no sweat. Daniel 11:33. And you know, we're talking about leadership. You know, if you want to be able to obtain it, no sweat. You can get it, man. You gotta be the type of brother that's going to be willing to deal with the things that come along with having that type of leadership that you want, right? If you come in here and you become a trooper, then you are a leader to the young men that come into school. If you are an officer of 50, then you are a leader to the troopers, the sisters, and the young men that come into the school. And as you go up, it's just more and more responsibility. All right, you got it whenever you're ready, brother Angel.
Daniel 11:33 says, "And they that understand among the people shall instruct many."
Right. If you a brother that understands, right, and I believe that y'all brothers are brothers that understand, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't understand to some degree about what the hell is being said, right? And what you hearing and what you learning and what you studying and things like that. You have some understanding, right? But the thing is, once you get put in a position with that understanding, remember, it comes great responsibility, because with that understanding, you have the ability to make bad decisions that could harm brothers' lives, right? You have the ability to make good decisions, right? But all in all, when you in a position of leadership, you have the brothers that are under you that's looking for your guidance. Right. So you could make a bad decision, and if you understand, it said that you will instruct many. You'll be the type of brother that'll be able to tell people and say, hey, look, man, hey, you know what, y'all, let's get up out of here. You know what I mean? This spot is, is looking kind of crazy out here. Let's roll. And brother's like, all right, we out. And then next thing you know, a shooting happened or something like that. But you got to be the type of brother that can be in that position and be able to make decisions that are good because you understand, right? And so that's why it's important that you pay attention, especially if you're a brother that's going to be instructing many. Go ahead, keep reading.
Now when they shall fall, I'm sorry. Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity and by spoil many days. Right. So this is when we went into captivity. But then also, even in this captivity, we have the ability to instruct many. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't get on here. That's why one of the protocols of the school, we don't get on here teaching what we don't know. Because you can teach the wrong thing and you can derail a brother off of what he was doing. Like if you got in here right now and I'm sitting here telling you John 3:16 is talking about everybody on the planet, you go home and teach that to your family or something like that, that could potentially harm somebody later on. Because now you sitting in the church, now that person believe what you're saying about that God loves everybody and what's this called? And John 3:16 is talking about everybody and God loves everybody. Then the next thing you know, you sit in the church and Dylan Roof is on his way. You get my point? Those brothers who was in that church, I saw the video. The video came out not the video came out, but the video popped up again. You know how sometimes old videos pop up, but they showed the church parishioners, they was coming in and they were showing them pull up in the parking lot and they was talking and they didn't even think that 11 minutes later, Dylan Roof was going to come in there. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? They all went into the church. And then the last person that came in the church was Dylan Roof. He went to the door. He pulled up, went to the door. And before he went in there, you know what he did? He fixed his gun and then went in. You know what I'm saying? And then the next part of the video you see is him sticking his head out the door and then coming out and shutting the door after he just killed 11 people. I went to that church too. I saw that church, the African, I forgot what kind of church it was, but yeah, go ahead.
So I get sir, real quick question. Did they so I get sir.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I wanted to know, when that shooting happened, did somebody survive that?
Yeah, one person.
One person.
Yeah.
So he killed 11 and left one person alive.
Yeah.
And tell the story.
Yeah.
So if I may, is it true that he reloaded?
Yeah. He waited till everybody was praying. And they had him sitting up in the front too. You know what I mean? Because that's what they always do when the oppressor comes to a black church. They let him come up to the front. But guess what? Ain't no oppressor getting in here. Dylan Roof would have had to shoot one of us at the door. Right. But by that time, we would have already been, you know what I mean? Once you hear there's some shots going on down there, we're going to grab some tables, we're going to grab some chairs, and everything is going to come down those steps. You know what I mean? He ain't going to be able to get up the damn steps that easy, right? He going to get everything that's not nailed down to the floor is coming down them steps. You get my point? Because we are serious about our lives. We're serious about protecting our people. We don't say things that's going to harm our people and put them in a position where they can be harmed. All right, no sweat. All right, we're gonna drop that. All right, let's get all right, you know what? Let's get 1 Timothy 3:1. All right, so this is a good one. This is a good scripture right here, 1 Timothy 3:1. This scripture right here is going to talk about, if y'all know anything about Paul and Timothy, how we would say it today, Timothy was a young bull, right? He was a young bull and he was rolling with Paul, right? Paul didn't have no kids, but he was Paul's young bull that, Paul, took under his wing, right? And then he showed Timothy how to set up a school. Right. And this is for any brother that's in the school. And this is how we operate today. This is how you set the school up. All right. So let me get there with you, brother Angel. Let me see. Let's log in. All right, 1 Timothy 3:1. All right, you got it.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 says, "This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work."
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? If you want to be in charge, that's what a bishop is. He's a brother that's in charge. You want to be in charge, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. You want power, there's nothing wrong with that. You can get it. All right, go ahead.
A bishop then must be blameless,
Right, go ahead.
the husband of one wife.
Oh man, this is the one they try to use to say that you can't have multiple wives. That's where this comes from, and this is not what this is talking about. Because even if you want to go with the narrative of that this does mean that it's only one wife, then that means that Paul couldn't even be a bishop of a school because Paul didn't have a wife. That would mean Christ couldn't even be the bishop of the school because Christ didn't have a wife. So this is not even what this is talking about. What this is talking about is the school. You got to be the husband of one wife, meaning that in the metaphor, it's talking about the school. Like, you ever heard of a brother? It shows your dedication. That's what it's talking about. Like, you think of like when, I don't know, brothers is in the hood or whatever, and we used to hustle, and the brothers say, "I'm married to the game." You hear rappers say it all the time, like, I'm married to the rap game, or I'm married to, my craft. You know what I mean? That's what this is talking about, meaning that you can't let nothing come in between that. That's the bond that you have with the school, and nobody can come in between that bond, right? That's your wife. That's your one wife. That's what the school is, right? Go ahead, keep reading. What's going on, brother? Damn, I thought you went to Haiti or some shit. What's going on? Lord Christ. All right, now you got it, Angel.
All right. Vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach.
Right. So like you gotta be vigilant. If you in charge, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch for something that's funny. You gotta be able to, keep your head on the swivel and watch the men that are with you. Yeah, we might be out, we might be at the we might be at the club or something like that. We might be out and about, and brothers might be drinking a little bit. But if you the brother who's in charge, you can't be getting drunk. You can't be getting S-faced. You know what I'm saying? You got to be there. You got to be on point. You got to watch the other men, and you just got to be the type of brother that's how they would say today. You got to be on point with your head on the swivel, right? And that's the kind of brother that has to be in charge, and not just in a when we out and about in public, but you got to be that way with the school too. You got to be vigilant. You know what I mean? You got to be, keep your head on the swivel, because when you're in a position of leadership, you are the first line of defense for the men, for the sisters in the school, right? So you can't be, drunk all the damn time. You can't be not vigilant. You got to make sure that you know what you're doing. All right. All right, boom. And you got to be apt to teach. So if somebody hit that phone, you got to get up. You might, be sitting down watching Netflix. You might be, sitting back eating some, Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. And you chilling and, with your rib, and y'all watching a good movie, a brother call about a scripture, you're going to have to answer it. All right. Or he might call for counsel, and you're going to have to do it. All right. No sweat. So skip me down to 6. I want to, 6.
So 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 6.
Yep.
Says, not a novice.
What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Right. You want to make sure that a brother is not, when you raising them up. No. You know what I mean? Like a brother who's in the school, and you want a brother who's getting, you raise him up. You don't want to raise a brother up too fast, right? You want to make sure that he get a little bit of seasoning with him, and that he learns the correct things and the proper way to move before you give him some power. All right, keep going.
Lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil.
Right. You think that, a brother, and that's why I respect, because, we have a hierarchy, we have a leadership, we have men who have been tried and tested, men when we have a ranking order in the school. So you're not just going to come through and get raised up quick because, you cool with this brother or you cool with that sister or you married to this brother, sister or whatever. No, it's not gonna happen like that. Because when you raise a brother up too fast and he's not equipped to be in that position, he's gonna fall to the devil. The devil is he's gonna fall, he's gonna get tempted, and he's not gonna be ready to be in that position that he's in. All right. And it says lifted up with pride. So sometimes brothers can, a brother might get lifted up fast. You know who was doing that? Jeroboam. Y'all remember that? That's what Jeroboam was doing. He was putting brothers in position. They was fake false prophets. Remember when the dude was coming, he told the dude, the Lord said this to go with me. And then he was like, nah, but the Lord told me to go over here and don't stop. Well, the Lord told me that you to come with me. Remember the dude ended up getting eaten by a damn lion because that was, a false prophet. And you don't want to raise up a bunch of brothers like that. A lot of the churches do that. You know what I mean? They raise you up fast. They put you as the bishop of the church, Bishop T.D. Jakes and all of that. They raise you up. All you got to do is go to college and go to, some sort of schooling or online or something like that. And then now you got 2 or 3 churches under your belt and you a child molester. Or you over families and you giving counsel to a sister in the school and you having sex with her too. She's coming to you in vulnerability because she's actually really going through something in her family with her husband, and you sitting there putting your hand on her leg, talking about everything gonna be all right. You get my point? That's how you fall when you get raised up too quick. All right? No sweat. Man, I'm gonna get off of it, but let me get verse 11. Okay, so it goes down and talks about like a deacon, right? Because that's the order of a school is. You got the bishop and you got the deacon, right? We don't use those today in ISUPK. We don't use bishop and deacon. One, because of the negative connotations that you get with it in the church. You know what I mean? Like Bishop Eddie Long, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Bishop Juanita Bynum. You know what I mean? Like we don't use those because they're negative today. You know what I mean? The connotation. So we don't have that in the school. In the school, we have generals, captains, officers, and troopers. All right? That's how we got in here in the school. But read 11 for me. Check this one out, Dosh. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 11 says, even so must their wives be grave.
What's that mean, Angel? Because remember, we're talking about the brother who's going to be in leadership, right? The bishop, the deacon. Now we're on the deacon, but even on the deacon, his wife must be grave. Does she know? Where it says the wife must be grave.
Is that honest, sir, or reverence?
Mm-mm.
Honorable?
Mm-mm.
You said grave, right?
Yeah, grave.
Like serious?
There you go. You gotta raise your hand. But yeah, serious. You're absolutely right. Brother's absolutely right. That's your wife gotta be serious too. You know what I mean? Because like just because you know all the scriptures and you got rank in the school, it doesn't mean nothing if your wife ain't in order. Your wife has to be in order too, right? But what it say? And not what?
Not slander.
Not what?
Slander. Right.
Your wife can't be on social media talking crazy about you. She can't be on Clubhouse getting an interview. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Your wife can't be on Clubhouse getting an interview about the school, about you and how she doesn't like your marriage. Your wife has to be in subjection.
Damn right.
She cannot be on social media trying to tear you down. She can't do that. It just said it right here. It said, even must their wives be grave. Like the brother said, serious. Your wife got to be serious too. You can't be running to school and your wife is acting all crazy on social media and like she don't respect nothing that you're talking about. All right? Even the scripture says that. But it says not slanderous. Your wife got to be the person that you can trust. Your wife can't be the person that's going to, tear you down on social media, tear you down for the world to see. That's not what this whole thing is about. All right? And it says sober. And what? Read that last line for me, Angel.
Faithful.
And what?
Faithful.
And what? And keep reading.
In all things.
And what?
In all things.
No, some things.
No, all things.
In all things. Right? Your wife got to be there. Not when, she feels that, it's time to start, telling, sisters about your sex life. Now it's time to start telling, sisters that, she disapproves with, the way you acting or what you're doing or whatever like that. If you got those issues, the best relationship is between two people, right? You and your wife, not you, your wife, and your mom. You, your wife, and your pops or your uncle or somebody else like that, because what's going to happen is those things come in, relationship goes like that. All right? No sweat. Moving on. So let me get Ezekiel 3:17. 3:17. Now we're talking about rank, man. We talking about rank. We talking about leadership. We can get all those things in here, man. Brother can get rank. Brother can get leader. Can be in a position to lead. We definitely need all of that in here, man. Every brother is important that comes to those doors. Every sister is important that comes to those doors, and that's what I want everybody to take away from this class tonight. All right. And whoever got it, you can read it. Let me see. Ezekiel. Right. Yeah, Ezekiel 3:17. Yeah, you got it. Yep.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 3:17. Son of mine, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me.
Right. If you desire to be in a position of leadership, then you, my brother, are a watchman. Right? Meaning you got to warn the brothers and sisters. That means that you can't come into this truth and then want to sit at the crib. That's not what this is about. We outside. Ain't that how they say it today? We outside. We got to be outside. You got to be warning people. You got to let them know, look, man, get away from the oppressor. Hey, stop, smoking weed. Stop. We all been there before, right? But at the same time, now you're in a position where you're working for the Lord now. You're working for the power that controls life and death now. So now it's very serious. So now you got to warn the people. Go ahead.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die.
Mm-hmm.
And thou givest him no warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The seeing wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will not require thine hand. Right.
So you want to warn brothers, right? Now, okay. What's probably not a time that you would want to do that? At the bar. Yeah, at the bar, at the club. You don't need to be at the club trying to teach drunk people. All right, just go to the club, enjoy yourself, whatever. If you out, you out with the brothers or whatever. You just chilling. Maybe y'all posted up somewhere and you just kind of just watching the scenery or whatever. It's not the time to be trying to go over to somebody's car while they're smoking weed and drinking and telling them that they're filthy, disgusting drug addicts. Right? You might not want to do it because it can actually backfire on you and you can end up getting in a damn shootout out there. You know what I'm saying? So you want to, use seasoning when you with everything and how you address people. But of course, when we at camp, that's the time. When we in class, that's the time. Right? When you on the phone, when people call you and they ask you things, that's the time. Right? Sometimes you might have to give somebody that harsh counsel that they might not want to hear. You know what I mean? Might be a sister. A sister might come to you and she might say, man, this dude I'm with, he does this, he does that. And then, you're going to have to tell her, hey, look, sis, you need to, handle that with your man. And you need to, work it out with your man and, things like that she might not want to hear. When she call you, she wants you to say, man, sis, you know what, man, he ain't right for you. He ain't, he wouldn't treat you like I could treat you. No, you don't want to do that. All right. You always want to give good counsel every chance that you get, all right? And you want to warn the wicked and tell them to turn from their wicked ways to save his life, all right? But if that same wicked man die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require thine hand. And if you don't warn brothers that when you supposed to and do it, that brother's going to die because he didn't understand. And so he died because we all know what the wages of sin is, right? It's death. So that brother died in his sin, and it was because you were there, but you didn't warn him the correct way. You didn't say the things to him that he needed to hear. Now, if he doesn't hear you, like the scriptures say, man, he's either going to hear or forbear. But if he forbears if he doesn't hear you or whatever, then hey, that's on him, right? Go ahead. You can keep reading, brother. Salaki, I'm a little bit ahead of myself.
19.
Mm-hmm.
And if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, not from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. And thou hast convicted thy soul.
There you go. And that's the point. And like the scriptures say, man, it's like so many admonishments that you're going to give a brother in the truth. So many admonishments that you're going to give a sister in the truth. You know how many brothers I still see, man, that still saying the same yak. And when I see them in the liquor store, they're like, yo, man, you still doing classes, right? Yeah, I'm still doing classes. What time do you be having classes? Still 7 o'clock. It's been at 7 o'clock for the last 8 years. Oh man, I'm gonna get down there, man. I'm gonna be down there. I got you. Brother, bring it in and everything. Yeah. Brother, bring it in and be like, all right, man, I'm there, man. I love you, man. Love you, man. Love you, man. And never see him again until the next time. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna be in there. And Thashim will see. And I tell Thashim, it's times brothers call me on the phone, sisters call me like, I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I get to the class early. I get here, set up, get everything right, got food, I got everything set up. And they don't show up, man. But I'm just like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much you can really say to somebody to make them change. Really, ultimately, it comes down to yourself and what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to internalize these things that we're saying, otherwise it don't mean nothing. It's just going in one ear and not the other. All right, no sweat. You can drop that. All right, we almost to the end. I got a few more scriptures and then we're gonna end it. Ecclesiasticus. Let's go into the Apocrypha, man. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 20:7. Ecclesiasticus 20:7. Matter of fact, you can start at 6.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20 and verse 6. Some mind holding his tongue. Good see that not to answer. Right.
So like some people, man, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta you gotta be in that type of you gotta be that type of a brother. Like when you in certain situations, you got the truth. It's clear you got the truth, but you don't always have to like run your mouth all the time. And thus it's times where I you know what I mean, be like, man, you ain't gotta tell them nothing, man. Right. You know what I mean? You just gotta be able to judge the situation. Some situations you don't need to say nothing. You just be quiet, man. You know what I mean? You don't gotta just hold your peace, right? Go ahead, keep going.
Son, keep in silence, knowing his time.
Right, when it's the right time to speak. Go ahead.
The wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity. But a Babylon and a fool will regard no time. Right, you just running your mouth all the time. You ever see somebody just keep talking, and then eventually you start to reveal yourself. You just keep talking, and then you end up revealing yourself, and then it's like now everybody's watching you, so it's like, it's like weird. You can't take it back. Like I remember we was watching a video where the dude was like, he was like, it was a white dude. Remember, he was like, yeah, because when we put out a thing on YouTube and y'all came at us and he was getting into the people. He was like, we're a perfectly peaceful racist group. I mean, I'm racist. Yeah. And then everybody was like, oh. They caught him because he just was running his mouth. You ran your mouth so much until you said you was a racist group, and now you can't take it back. Now it's viral, and everybody know that you're racist. All right. So sometimes you just gotta just chill, hold your tongue, and just
let everybody else talk. Go ahead, you got it.
He hath used many words shall be abhorred. He
Right.
that useth many words shall be abhorred.
Right. So he that uses many words shall be abhorred, meaning like people are gonna, they're gonna dislike you, right? Because you don't humble yourself. A lot of times brothers are what's that word I'm looking for? Cocky. Well, that sounds kind of gay, but but yeah, brothers not gonna like you or whatever because you talk too much. Go ahead.
And he that taketh to himself authority therein shall be hated. Right.
So, you always want to make sure that you stay humble no matter what you do and how you handle yourself, of course. And then we talking about like being in a position of leadership too. You just always want to have these kind of traits, of course, when you deal with it, because like I said earlier in the class, it's like you're going to be the first line of defense for the brothers and sisters, no matter however way you put it, no matter what rank you at, you're going to be in some sort of position of leadership. And whatever position you're in leadership you are, then do it the best way that you can. All right, because brothers' lives will be in your hands. All right, no sweat. We're gonna stay in Ecclesiastes. Let's go to 30. Let's go to 4 and 7. Ecclesiastes 4 and 7. Then we're gonna go up to 32 and 7. And then I got like 2 more, and we'll end it.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4 and verse 7. Get thyself the love of the congregation, and bow thy head to a great man.
Right. So this is talking about humility. Like, bow your head to great men, right? Men that have come before you. It's not talking about like you gotta worship a man, of course, but it's also saying that you show reverence to men who the aged men, the men who have been in the truth longer than you,
put
right?
the work in.
And you bow your head to them, man. You know what I mean? And you show them reverence because these men have been around for a while and they've been through what you're going to go through, and they've been tested and tried. And so you want to make sure that you bow yourself, but then also, like I said, you want to get the love of the congregation, man. So you got to be around. How we know what the hell you're doing if we don't know that, if you're not here? We don't know what you're doing. We don't know if you're keeping the commandments or not. You just not around. You just pop up, you know what I mean? We don't know what you're doing. So that's why you want to get around your brothers, get around your sisters, so that we can be in this fight together. You cannot fight Satan by yourself. You will lose. I'm saying it, I'll say it again. You will lose. That is 100% facts. You will lose by yourself. There's no way that you're going to be able to do it because Satan has been around since the garden. I don't give a damn what it is you're dealing with. Whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever the thorn that's in your side, if you try to fight it by yourself, you're not going to be able to do it. So you fight it with your brothers, you fight it with your sisters, you fight it with the men and women that are in the truth with you that can go on this journey. And so that we're around each other, you stay busy, you stay focused. That's how it is. If you're not doing nothing, you need to be doing something, right? You need to be, use that idle time to get in here. Right? When you got too much idle time, what do? Smoke weed. You do something like that. You go to the strip club, or you go get a prostitute. He's out there laughing. When you got too much idle time, this is when Satan is allowed to come in, because remember, the fight is not physical. The fight is right here in your brain. And the only way that you're going to be able to fight it is with your brothers and your sisters and staying busy. Right? Stay at school. I call Thashim. He'd be like, yeah, I'm at the school. There's nobody here. But he'd be here. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to immerse yourself in the culture, immerse yourself in it. And so that it's just like if you go to the, Planet Fitness or, any of these gyms that's out here, which most people don't, they go and get the membership at the beginning of the year because it's a New Year's resolution. And if the people was ever to see you, like the general said, if the people was ever to see you, be like a new member, because you don't go, you done bought a Bowflex and a treadmill in your house. If you spend $5,000 and the only thing you can put on there is clothes to dry. It dries clothes real good, don't it? That treadmill that you bought, right? So you wanna work at it, work at the truth. Just like you're not gonna get muscles unless you go to the gym and work out. You're not gonna get muscles if you lift. If you lift, it tells you hip. You lift, you do 20 reps and then flex for the camera. Like, you're not gonna get strong like that. You gotta put the phone down and get busy, right? and then you start to see those gains come later on, right? And that's the same thing with the truth. You gotta get to work. You know, you gotta work and you gotta build yourself up, and so that you can be strong in this truth. You could be something that is. I see some brothers who's like juggernauts, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing just to see like brothers' growth, man. We be on Times Square, you know what I mean? We was at Times Square and it was people coming up to me from Brussels, you know what I mean? They was coming up like, what is this? You know what I mean? And, you know, because they don't even understand what's going on, but they just see a bunch of niggas standing up here with Hispanics and everybody standing up here, you know, calling the oppressor the devil, and they from France. They like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So, you know, and you'll be able to get that type of glory. You know what I mean? To be up there in the sight of thousands of people and be speaking. You know what I mean? You'll get that glory if you want it. The Lord will add everything to you that you have that you want. The only thing you got to do is you got to seek the kingdom of the Lord first. All right. So let me see. And bow thyself to the great men. So we're gonna go through. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 32 and 7. We're gonna stay here in Ecclesiasticus, and then let me see 32 and 7. All right, yeah, and then take me down to verse 9. Baba Kashaw.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 32 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Right, meaning like, you know, speak, young man, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know, we might be talking about something and then you might, you know, you holding your peace, but you like, man, I think that we should do it like this. And then we like, oh man, yeah, that's a good idea, man. We're gonna do that. You know what I mean? You speak, you know what I mean? You hold your peace, but you get your time when you speak. Go ahead.
Verse 8, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them.
Right, don't try to make it. Y'all ever read The Laws of Power? You ever read that book by Robert Greene?
Khan.
Don't try to make yourself equal with men that are greater than yourself. You know what I mean? That's true for the truth, but it's also true in the world. You know what I mean? You humble yourself. You know what I mean? When you're around great men, you don't go and meet Dr. Dre for the first time. You're a new rapper. You go meet Dr. Dre and you go up in the studio like, see, this is what I'm talking about. We here with Dr. Dre, man. Let me go over and check these levels, man. You know what I mean? Let me see. He gonna sit back like, who's this dude? Who brought him here? You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, you got to be able to be around great men. You know what I mean? And you don't make yourself equal with them because you can learn from them. And eventually, man, you might even be better. You get my point? But the whole thing about it is just being able to understand what humility is and understand and bow down to something greater than yourself. All right? But it says, and make not thyself equal with them. And say that again and keep reading.
And when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
Right. So when say like the generals are around, I don't talk too much. You know what I mean? Even though they might be like, yo, what up, man? I'll be like, yeah, shalom. You know what I mean? Or they be like, hey, what's going on with the school? Or what's going on down here? I'm like, oh yeah, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. But I'm not gonna be like, yo, we went out to the club last night. And guess what, man? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're right, sir. Yeah, shalom. Right. You know what I mean? Like, use not many words. You know, just keep your mouth shut. Just understand when it's the right time to talk, and just, you know, just know how to just be a type of brother that can maneuver through things, man. And you'll be in a position to be a great leader. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the best leaders are the best followers. All right. Anybody had any questions on that? I think y'all pretty much got that. I mean, that's pretty much. 1 Peter 5 and 6, and then Ecclesiasticus 10 and 4. Matter of fact, let's go to Ecclesiasticus 10 and 4, and then I'm gonna end it off with 1 Peter 5 and 6. All right, and yeah. First Peter. No, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, I do want 1 Peter 5 and 6, but I'm going to get it. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 4.
Okay.
Let me just stay here.
Slug.
All right, you got it. Whenever you're ready, brother, you got it.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Right. So remember, if you whatever position that you're in that position right now because the Lord wants you in that position. Right. Y'all are here in this class because the Lord wanted you here in this class. You're not here because, remember, the scriptures say man's goings are of the Lord. You're not here because you just want to be here. No, that's not the way this works. You know what I mean? You don't choose the Lord. The Lord chooses you because he could have chose anybody to get this understanding to, but he didn't because there's a lot of goofy niggas out there right now. It's a lot of goofy broads that's out there right now that don't know nothing about what we're talking about here right now. You got it, Warrior.
Sluggy, sir. Going back to being a man of few words amongst the leaders. How do you get, if you're going to be a man of few words, how do you get their attention and their presence just by being consistent? No,
this is talking about like, you ever hear, okay, like I said, like think Dr. Dre, right? Think Dr. Dre, think 50 Cent, right? I'm just using this as an example that we all can understand. Think Dr. Dre, think 50 Cent. When 50 Cent first met Dr. Dre, I'm pretty sure he wasn't in there like, yo, man, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let me check these levels, man. Hey, move over, man. Let me do this. Let me talk. You know what I mean? He probably was just sitting back, like just soaking it up. You know, just like when Pop Smoke was talking to 50 Cent, he talked about it all the time. Pop Smoke was writing everything down. It's like, you know what I'm saying? When you're in the presence of greater men than yourself, you just hold your peace and you listen and you learn. That's all it is. It's not like you can't talk to them. You can talk to them. I talk to generals all the time. But it's like when we're in certain situations, I don't be opening my mouth just blabbing all the damn time and just talking. Because then it's going to be like, well, you know, come on. You know what I mean? They're gonna show you some mercy, like, yo, man, yo, just a brother gonna be like, yo, just shut up, man. Be quiet, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I had to tell brothers, like, yo, chill. You know what I mean? Because sometimes brothers can they might get to a point where they think they talking to their home, you know, they talking to, you know, their brother or something. It's like, and sometimes the generals might get with you like that, but I won't let it go to the point where I'm like, yo, what up, homie? You know what I mean? Yo, I love you, man. You know, you got his hand on his head, like, yo, I love you, man. Love you, man. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna just, you know, you got the hand right here on the head. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just be like, yeah, how you doing? Oh, I'm good, sir. I'm good. Everything too wild. Everything good? Yeah, everything good. You know what I mean? But if he be like, hey, you know, I need you, you know, I want to know about this or that, you know, you talk to him or whatever, but you just gotta be easy. You gotta, you know, when you're in the presence of great men. All right. All right, you got 4 Ecclesiasticus 4 and 4. It said the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, so everything that happens is because of the Lord. Matter of fact, let me go down to verse 21.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, and verse 21. The fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority.
Say that one more time.
The fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority.
See that? That's what goes first. The fear of the Lord, that goes for the obtaining of authority. The Lord gonna give you authority. You want it, you got it. But you gotta fear the Lord first, and you gotta understand that, hey, look, man, the Lord ain't no joke. He ain't none of that. What they talking about in the church, he is not, you know, that the God that's just gonna love everybody and, you know, be in a box that no human being is ever in. You know what I mean? They try to put the Lord in a box, like he can only be about love. But you don't even love everybody. You know what I mean? If God was all love, the earth would reflect it, but it don't. The earth is a bad place, and they got plenty of shows on TV to totally bring that home, right? It's called the ID channel. It's called First 48. It's called Neighbor from Nightmare, the Nightmare Neighbor. You know what I mean? Where people killing each other, people are scamming each other. The whole earth is just crazy right now, right? And so we can't put the Lord in the box, but understand that, you know, it says the fear of the Lord goeth before the obtaining of authority, but roughness and pride is the losing thereof. Because when you got too much pride, you will lose. I'm trying to tell you, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose hard, especially with this truth. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be sitting, you're gonna think you in here, you're gonna think you got all this pride and you that nigga, right? And guess what? About in no time, you're gonna be at the company baseball game, like the softball game, like, damn, how did I get here? Pitching too. Hey, that's here. You're gonna be pitching, like you're gonna be pitching at the company.
Love it.
Yeah, you don't even know why you there. And it's because, man, the Lord wasn't with you. You had pride and you thought that it was going to be sweet. And the Lord showed you in the end that it's not. Because by proxy, I think every brother that leaves school, he ended up loving the oppressor. I think that's just a default. You know what I mean? But all right, last scripture. 1 Peter 5:6.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God,
Right.
that he may exalt you in due time.
That's right. The Lord's going to raise you up in due time. Y'all brothers want to come in. Y'all want to put your all black on. You want to put your boots on. You want to put your headpiece on. The Lord is going to raise you up in due time. Right? And you want to take it a little step further. You want to get, the officer test, and you want to go out and teach, and you really want to get out here with us and go and fight this war. You get my point? The Lord will raise you up in due time. You'll get everything you want. All you got to do is put your best foot forward. And then once you do that, man, the Lord will add everything to you that you ever wanted. All right. With that being said, anybody got any questions? If not, I'm going to end it and wrap it up. Y'all good? All right. No sweat. I'm going to turn the class over to Precinct Officer Thashio.
All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother,
I got you.
When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If you need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother has interest in a particular sister, you'll seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment. Ma'asharah means 10 in Hebrew. That's Numbers 18:21. That's Malachi 3:8-10. That's 10% of anything that the Lord give you. Any increase in your home, you give the Lord 10% of that because the Lord gave it to you. All right. Preach fund is not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you may give. We got the up and coming holy convocations. We got the feast of the first fruits, right, sir?
Yeah.
It's the feast of first fruits, and that will be June the 12th. All right, sundown. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, scarf, and headband, and saying that. Michael means to stand. We're gonna give one courtesy salute. All right. Michael Shabbat. Michael Barak.
Yeah,
what I just said was, in the name of who the world calls Jesus Christ, bless you to the brothers. Yad Yom Matah, arms down. Star means to turn. Michael to the sister, stand. We're going to give the sister a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Michael Shabbat. Michael Barak.
Yahweh Shema Lathan Ba'Shem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shemar Lathan Ba'Shem Yahushua.
And what I just said was, may the Lord, in the name of Jesus Christ, watch over you.
The Most High watch over you in the name of Christ.
In the name of Christ. Yad Yom Matah, class dismissed.
Good to see you, man.
Good to be here.